Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608 and today I am playing StarMade. And I've taken our little basic bomber layout and I made a couple modifications. First of all, I gave it this nice plate down here and I increased the reactor just a little. So we're getting 1.1 million energy per second because I think our next experiment is going to need it. Alright, so my next experiment, this is an exercise in sheer silliness. But I wanted to do it because it's an exercise in sheer silliness. That is, I want to make the most bombs I can. Oh, I'm probably going to get in trouble with this series. How many times I've used the word bomb? Ah, well, anyway. We're going to throw these down here. Those are extra missile tubes. And here are going to be our extra missiles. How many extra missiles are we going to get? I don't know. That's 73. Can we get a few more than 73? Can we get 80? 90? Not like that. We got 85. That's probably sufficient for our purposes right now. So, I can fire 85 missiles with one shot. Now, this is going to be interesting. I don't want to fire a single big missile. I would like to fire several smaller missiles. Oh, yeah. My brain never quite rocks this right. Let's grab and we're going to make... There we go. And notice all of these, or none of these rather, are linked to the missile computer. It's because when you copy paste, things don't link. Oh, that's not too bad. But these are all just 5 units, and no, they're not all just 5 units. I mean, they're all 5 by 5 by 5 modules. Not 5 by 5. They all just have one 5 in them. They're 5 units long is what I'm trying to say, but my brain ain't saying it right like when my mouth wants to. It's the other way around. So now I have to go in and Is that right? Is this one wrong? Okay, oh, this one was wrong. I was going too far over. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I have to go in and individually select each one of these. That's going to be a pain in the backside, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, we're going to say you are now 20 units tall, which is... Well, you're 10 units tall, which is acceptable, and you're 46 units wide. Then I'm going to look at it, I'm going to hit Shift V, and Shift V, and Shift V, and Shift V. So unselect it and reselect it. Okay, so, but now I don't have my checker pattern. Well, watch this. If you undo, it only undoes the placing of blocks, not the linking of them. So now all of these units are now linked up and they're individual bombs. How many are there? That's not going to tell me. We're going to have to go to this one, to missiles. So capacity, how many groups do I have? Tell me how many groups? Groups 1. I'm fairly sure that is more than one group. Ah, there we go. Groups. On. Group. Oh, good grief. It's not going to tell me how many groups. It's going to tell me each group individually. Oh, good grief. Oh, groups. 305. That's a little larger than 85. But that is okay. And Because number lock is off, and I'm trying to use the numpad because I like the numpad. So we need to look at our missile capacity and see if we can get it up to 300. So 10, 145. And we're not going to get it up to 300. Well, we might, but... Alright, 180 is probably sufficient for what we're doing. So in this case, we're just going to shave off some of these extraneous missiles. Alright, so groups. Not you. Oops, 205. It still thinks it says 105 groups. And we have 189 missile capacity we're going to do. There we go. 205. Okay, so 105. That should be close-ish to 155. That is exactly. It's going to fire 155 individual bombs. This is the dumbest thing. All right, game busting, game buster. All right, so let's just see if the rotten thing even fires. We're running at 115% of my reactor. So on top of all that, we need to increase the reactor size. This is not a finished product. This is a silliness to see if I can get away with it. Except I didn't want that. I wanted to... This should add like 13%, I think. If we need stabilizers on the side, lined up with... If it's just a test, why are you lining things up? I don't know, but I am. Okay. Gonna take 31 seconds to restock everything. So in that time, we can take it to grab... Oh, where was that Nebula frigate? Now this is gonna do a lot of damage, but it's not going to do a lot of damage. It's going to do a lot of surface damage. It's not going to do very deep damage, because these are not particularly strong missiles, and they're going to be spread out quite a bit. So it's not going to destroy this ship, but it is going to pit it really, really good. It's going to skin it, but it isn't going to kill it. At least that's my prediction. Leave your prediction down in the comments. Actually, I don't care if you leave it in the comments or not. Is that terrible? Oh, awful YouTuber. So now in this camera mode, we are lined up with the bombs, so I know we're not going to overshoot. Well, we probably will overshoot some of them because there's 120 of these things. So start off, and we're going to go pew, and then we're going to pull back. Then we're going to go take a look and see what happens. Oh, I'm not fast enough. I'm not fast enough. Boom. Surprised my computer hasn't melted yet. Oh, there we go. Frames are... Oh, that is awful. That is horrible. That is beautiful. And in 14 seconds, it'll recharge. I still have 34 missiles loaded. If I do something like this. Where am I? There we go. Go. Pew! Slow down so I don't run into anything, and then take a look. It goes pew! That explosion was not the frigate. That was those turrets going boom. That is awful. That did a lot more damage than I thought, and as I said, it's not going to kill it. Of course, this Nebula frigate is going to be a bear to kill anyway, but it credited. Oh, that's great. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever done, and I have done some dumb things in StarMade. With all the flashing. Oh, it's still rendering the explosions. Never do this. My machine has a little power behind it, so that's the only reason I'm getting away with this. Right over here. So no, this is not going to be a viable option. From the missiles. That looked like a screenshot to me. Ooh. Yeah, we're getting a little slow down there. And I keep... Oh, the ship is moving. All right, let's try something else. How about something a little less armored? How about a yacht? This is my Empress class yacht. It's like a super yacht. Almost, but not quite like a cruise liner type deal going on. Go pew! We hope that's enough time to... Now this is a lot less armored. So let's see how bad it did. So this is basically the cross-section of this ship. Forever since I've even boarded this vessel. It's a thin layer of hull than the interior. So it shredded the thin layer of hull, which of course it would have. But these blocks here, this interior, slowed it down because basic armor is really good against explosions. And it just chewed through. Again, did not go very deep. Of course, for this vessel, all of its important innards are on the bottom here. Yep, all the important stuff's down here. Well, I guess unless you consider the crew important, then... Oh, what about... Which is the newest? There's our newest cube, and I haven't forgotten about the cube. I have something special planned for it. So right now we're going to test its the armor. Oh, hit something already. We go. Oh. And this actually shows us the damage pattern. There's so many explosions is causing my audio to freak out. Anyway, this actually shows us the damage pattern, and this is 5 layers of armor. Standard, advanced, basic, standard, advanced. This is 4 layers. Wait a minute, shouldn't there be a 5th layer? Yeah, it's standard, advanced, basic, standard, advanced. Standard, advanced, basic, standard. Yeah, that's 5. Okay. So it did bad things. But notice it didn't go very deep. It was 1, 2, well, it went through 5 layers of armor. Then it hit these systems, only went through 2 more. So it only went through like 8 layers of stuff, but it's still 8 layers of stuff. Now, against the cube, penetrating damage is going to be much more efficient. But just to see that giant chunk of hole in the armor, that's kind of, well, what happens if we hit it again there? Turn off our hoods so you can see it more purdy-like. Lowest. Yeah, again, that's not too bad. It chewed through the systems, so the main weapon is now a little weaker, and I have all these little sub weapons, but did not actually penetrate into the heart of the ship. So this has done exactly what I thought it would. It'll do lots of damage to the outside, but that's it. Of course, it does really bad things. So now to be fair, this has left enough room. I could fly a small fighter in here and just have a heyday. So using these in conjunction with something is going to be best. Using it in a fleet. So opening up the armor, cracking the nut, if you will, then allowing other ships to say, hey, there's an opening, and taking care of things. Can AI use bombs? I don't know. That's another question we need to ask. Can AI use this thing? But that's a question for another time. I have been JW608. This has been StarMade, and I will do you cats later.